Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Friday. I'm just going to give folks a few minutes just to enter the chat. I see a whole bunch of you here already, which I'm really excited about. Oh my god. Oh shoot, I totally forgot to do something that I needed to do before this. Um that's okay, because I do want to give people a few minutes to join. So I have a minute to do the thing that I should have already set up, but didn't have it set up yet. But it'll just take me a second. It is critical to the story that I am going to be telling, guys. It is fundamental. All right, okay, I have that set up and ready to go. You guys will find out exactly what that is in a little bit. Hi everyone, welcome to my Friday happy hour live stream. I'm so excited about this live stream. I'm so excited. Guys, you made this live stream possible. This is because you made it so I hit 100,000 subscribers yesterday evening. I actually did it live on, or well, I shouldn't say I did it. It happened while I was actually on Adamcast, Adam Krigler's show that he does every single night, and we were live, and he basically cajoled all of his audience, or many people in his audience, to come and subscribe. And so it crossed the 100,000 mark live while we were on the air. So you can go see my reaction. I was actually much more excited than I thought I was going to be. And I promised you that if I got to 100,000 today, I would treat you to the story of me getting myself fired from a public radio station in epic, glorious bridge burning fashion. I promise you, this is a good story. It's a really good story. And we're going to talk about that. But first thing we're going to do is I want to know what people are drinking. Now, of course, no one is under any obligation to drink anything that might, put you under the influence. And of course, I'm sure there are some sober folks here too. So water, soda, tea, coffee, all is welcome. But I am partaking of a stout. I have a plethora of stouts downstairs. I just went to the beer store. I got a whole bunch of varieties. For some reason, there are a lot of peanut butter stouts out now, which I actually really enjoy. So I thought that was good. Now, this is a giant wine glass. I drink my beer in a wine glass because I'm that type of snobby. It's like half the size of my head, just for perspective. And this is a stout. I haven't even taken a sip of this yet. I haven't tried it, but I was very excited about it because this is a cinnamon toast crunch stout. And for some reason, I've been really into cinnamon lately, and I actually have cinnamon toast creamer in my like for my coffee in the morning. So I was very excited to see cinnamon toast crunch stout. This is from Pipe Brewing Company, which is in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and I don't even know what this tastes like yet because I literally just poured it into the glass. So hopefully it doesn't suck. If it sucks, I'll have Victor give me another beer, I suppose. But let's take a sip. Cheers, everyone! Cheers to all of you. Thank you for helping me get to 100,000 subs. I can't say how grateful I am, how much I appreciate every single one of you. So cheers to everyone. Thank you. Ooh, that's actually not bad. So the can says chocolatey American stout infused with cinnamon toasted cereal, adding flavorful layers of bready cinnamon and notes of sweet maple syrup. I actually think that's a pretty good description. It's a good rich stout. It's got a lot of flavor to it. I'm happy with this selection as my first one. All right, guys, I can see we already have some super chats coming in. I want you to know that I do plan on reading every single super chat that comes in. So please send them in. I will do that in the back half of the live stream. I do plan to read and answer every single one of them because this is a day of celebration. So why the heck not? And I greatly appreciate all your support, of course. But I want to get into the story. Are you guys? Well, actually, let me look at the chat real quick and let me see what people are drinking. I see some coffee. I see some tea. I think I saw orange juice. Let's see. Rum and lemonade. I've never actually tried rum and lemonade. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Ken is here. Ken, I believe I met you in Beverly Hills, I think. So many familiar faces. Let's see. Cheers to everyone. Oh, guys, and as an extra special cheers, please make sure to smash that like button. Will you smash that like button as you're taking your next sip of water? Or, well, someone's water. Mama Cheapskate is water. I'm going to take a sip of beer. Here, let me look at the alcohol content on this beer before I... Oh, guys. I probably should have looked at this before I selected this particular beer because this beer is 10%. I don't know if you can see that. It looks blurry. 10%. That's dangerous. I could be very drunk by the end of this live stream, but we're going to see how it goes. Okay. All right. So we're going to tell the story. You guys have earned it. You've earned the story of how I got fired from New Hampshire Public Radio. So first I want to say, before I get into the story, I want to say that this happened a long time ago. Okay. This was not a recent thing. This happened a long time ago. And since it happened, as you're actually going to see as part of the story, there have been many people that have left NHPR. And the people that I had the main issues with, most of the people that I think were directly responsible for my firing, they're gone. They don't work there anymore. And so I want to preface this by saying that I don't really know many of the people who work at NHPR now. I really don't. I know some of them. I have mixed feelings about them, but I don't know what the current state of that organization is. I really have no idea. It is entirely possible that in the intervening years, this organization could have completely turned itself around and is an absolutely fabulous place to be and all that good stuff. And I want to just leave room for that possibility. And for the people that still work there, I actually genuinely hope that that's the case. So this happened a while ago. I have no idea what the current state is. I'm not making a comment on what the current state is. It could be just great and peachy keen. I have no flipping idea. What I'm speaking to is my experience there and what happened to me there. And the most interesting part of this story is not actually that I got fired. The most interesting part of this story is what happened like almost 3 years, 2 or 3 years after I got fired. That's actually the most interesting part of this story. So let's dig into it. So first, I want to give a little bit of context about how I ended up working at New Hampshire Public Radio. So a lot of you know, I worked in higher education for a really long time. I worked in higher ed for about 10 years, and I was working for this higher ed vendor called EduVentures as their leadership content director. Essentially this was like, I don't even remember. Time is meaningless anymore. It really is. I want to say this was like 2013, 14, something like that. I was working for this company called EduVentures doing content for like leadership, people in leadership positions in higher education, like college presidents, that sort of thing. I also had started my business Zen Workplace on the side. I started my business in 2012 and just was doing it as like a part-time side hustle for a couple years. And then what happened is the company I was working for that I really loved, I freaking loved this company. I worked directly for the CEO and he left. And he has actually since gone on to become a college president, which is ironic, but he's a good dude. And I have no issue with him. But he ended up leaving. And right around the time he ended up leaving, they brought in this other CEO who it was pretty clear to me that his goal was to sell the company. And he didn't like me on site. And he wouldn't even like speak to me, even though I think technically reported to him, even though I never even spoke to him. And so I knew that I was going to lose my job because, anytime a new CEO comes in, there's usually a house cleaning. And I knew that I was probably going to be on the list to lose my job. And so I was in this predicament where I didn't think that my business I didn't want to go full time with my business yet. I didn't think it was sustainable. But I needed to have like an alternative because I thought I was going to get fired from that other job. And so I ended up getting a director of marketing position at New Hampshire Public Radio. And I was psyched about this. I was psyched about this for several reasons. First off, it was much closer to my house. I was commuting from New Hampshire to Boston every single day, and that sucked on a number of different levels. So it was a much better commute for me. But it was also, I was psyched about this because I loved NPR. I loved public radio. I listened to public radio all the time. And so to be able to come in and be a part of that, I was actually really, really excited about it. So I accepted the position. But even in the job interview, I had told them flat out, I had told them that I was not going to be staying in that position for long because I always thought I was going to go do my business, Zen Workplace, full time at some point. And so I told the woman that hired me, hang on. I told the woman that hired me flat out, I really wasn't going to be there for really more than 2, maybe 3 years at the absolute outset. And the reason I another reason I wanted to take that job instead of going on my own at that point was, Victor was managing a gas station at that point. If I didn't have a job with benefits, like that was going to be a problem because his job didn't have benefits. And there's nothing wrong with managing a gas station. Like they treated him really well, but it didn't have benefits. And so we needed to get insurance from somewhere. And this was like a stable thing that had, good benefits. It was a okay salary. I actually ended up taking a pay cut to go there, which kind of sucked, but whatevs. So it gave us some stability. Now, it was fine for the first couple of months, but the thing about public radio that's really funny is there is a pretty big divide in public radio between the content makers and everyone else. There is a hierarchy. If you are a content maker, you are on the top of that hierarchy. If you are not a content maker, you are on the bottom of that hierarchy and you are not treated very well. And what's funny is that in the public radio space, it's actually for public radio and for public television, there's a big conference like for people that like don't make content, that you go to learn different aspects of it and how to market and how to get fundraising and all this crap. And in that conference, there is actually an entire track just dedicated to how do you work better with content people, that is just people complaining about how awful it is to work with content people. So when I'm telling the story of what it's like to be a non-content person at a public radio station, that is true across all public radio stations. This is true of every single person who I've ever talked to that worked at a public radio station that was not in a content role. They experienced the same thing, which is you're treated like dirt. You're really treated very, very badly. You're treated like you're stupid. You're treated like you have nothing to contribute. You're not even allowed to talk to the content people a lot of the times. It is absolutely mind-bogglingly bad. Now, on top of that, the president of NHPR, while I was there, she's not there anymore, but while I was there, she's a massive narcissist. Massive narcissist. Okay. And she had been there for a while, and her narcissism had started to bleed into the people who reported up to her. So you basically had an executive staff in the organization that were just like, all of them, almost universally, all of them were awful, awful, awful to work for. Now, this had happened to overlap with when I was doing my doctoral dissertation, which a lot of you know is about workplace bullying. And so my head was actually in workplace bullying like all the time. I was studying it, I was doing interviews, I was doing like all this research around it. Like, so I understood what was happening very clearly. And I want to say, I don't remember the exact timeline. I'm going to be honest. I probably blocked a lot of it out. But the woman that I was working for, who was the vice president of development, was 100% bullying people on her staff. She wasn't always doing that because she was actually relatively new too. I'm pretty sure she picked up bad habits from the CEO. But about a year into this job, it was so clear to me that she was bullying not only me, like I was absolutely being bullied. I was not only being bullied by her, I was being bullied by members of the other members of the staff. Like the people that were working there were just absolutely miserable human beings. It was awful. You couldn't do anything. Anytime I suggested any idea, it was like, no, Carlin, you don't know what you're talking about. Me. Like people would blow up each other at meetings. It was awful. And so it got to be really, really bad. And so I started formulating in my head. I was like, when are you going to leave this job? Because remember, I had always wanted to go and do Zen Workplace full time. And at some point, I was just like, you know what? F this. And I started essentially just like really focusing on how can I build Zen Workplace up enough to where I can leave this awful job and go do what I want to do full time. Well, as this was going on, I had a conversation with my husband about this, actually, probably several. Hi, Victor. He's watching. And Victor at one point made me promise that I wouldn't quit this job. I don't remember the exact context. I'm sure Victor can add some more context around this. I don't remember the exact context, but I do remember that I had made a commitment that I would not just up and quit this job because, guys, I was miserable. I was so miserable. And this was not long after, like, Victor and I were like, I mean, we hadn't been married for a minute, but like we were still like relatively like newlyweds. I mean, maybe it was like a year or something. I don't know. It was pretty close to when we got married. Cheers. And so what was happening is like I was so miserable every goddamn day. I would drive home, I would shout in my car, I would cry, I would come home, I would pick a fight with him. Like it was really bad, but I promised him I wouldn't quit. And I do try to keep promises when I make them. And so I was like, "Oh, I can't quit this job until I have a plan." And so I had concocted a plan to where I was pretty sure that I could make Zen Workplace work on a full-time basis. And at the same time, because I told my husband that I wouldn't quit, I also concocted a plan to get myself fired. And so this, and again, I'm gonna flood the timeline because it's been a hot minute. But this was, I want to say I started concocting this plan around July or August of 2015, something like that. It was something around that time. It was like in July or August, and that you're gonna understand why that timeline's important. So I started concocting the plan. I said, here is the money that I'm going to need in my bank account, or like the business commitments I'm gonna need to be able to quit and to feel comfortable. And once I had that secured, what I did was I used my dissertation knowledge and I applied it directly to my workplace situation, because you see, when you're bullied at work, and someone actually recently sent in a question and they asked me, like, Carlin, what do you need to know when you're being bullied in the workplace? Well, here's one of the things you need to know. If you are being bullied by especially an executive, like a VP or someone in the C suite, and you report that bullying to HR, there is like an 80% chance that HR is going to turn it back and turn it against you. So here's what happens when workplace bullying is reported, especially when it pertains to an executive or like a VP or a CEO or something doing the bullying. Is their HR is going to do one of two things almost always. They are either going to do nothing, which cannot be perceived as a neutral act when it comes to bullying. It has to be perceived as an act to help the person doing the bullying and against the person who's being bullied, right? They're going to do nothing. Or they're going to concoct a way to get you fired, to fire you from your job, to get the target of the bullying out of your job. And so I reported this being almost positive what was going to happen. As soon as I reported the bullying, I was like, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to start, the wheels are going to start turning, and they're going to start concocting a plan to fire me. That was what I thought would happen, and I had a deadline. Because there was actually a conference. So I said that I started concocting this plan in like July or August, right? There was a conference that I wanted to go to the following March. It was started at the beginning of March, and it was actually overlapping with the fund drive. Now, you guys know in public radio, the fund drive, it is sacrosanct. You are not allowed to take vacation during the fund drive. No one is allowed to take vacation during the fund drive, right? And so I had this conference I wanted to go to that was relevant to Zen Workplace, but it was smack dab on top of the March fund drive. And so my thinking was, either they're going to fire me before that, or if they don't get their act together, I'm just going to quit and walk out and not come back at the end of February. I was going to break my promise. I felt like I'd given them more than enough time to concoct a plan to fire me. And I was just going to, if they didn't do it by the end of February, I was just going to quit and just not come back and go to the conference and then do my business and do what I wanted to do. Well, they did get there. So what I did is I went to HR and I really hammed it up. I hammed it up in like the best possible way. I came in and I handed her like 7 pages worth of grievances. Not only about the bullying that was occurring against me, but also about the bullying that was occurring against other members of the staff. And this was all completely true, by the way. I didn't make anything up, because I don't play that game. I did not make a single thing up. It was all they were completely true grievances. And I put it down on her desk, and I also gave the HR person information to, this is how you measure workplace bullying. I gave her all these studies. I was like, this is what workplace bullying is. This is how you measure workplace bullying. Here's what you need to know. Here's how this means workplace bullying. Here's how that means where I gave her everything she needed to actually do her flipping job as an HR person, and then trusted that she would be completely incompetent and not do her job at all, and instead turn it around on me. And this happened, I don't remember. I think that this might have happened in like September or something like that. They had enough time. So I want to say I'm gonna roundabout like peg it at September, maybe October, maybe, I don't know. And then I just left it alone. So I had reported the workplace bullying, and Elle is here. Oh my god, Elle is the best. If you guys don't follow Elle, you absolutely should. Yay. Okay. So I had reported the workplace bullying to HR, and then I just sat back and let the wheels spin and let them do their thing. All right, we're going to pause, drink, everyone. Cheers. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Then, so a month goes by, and all of a sudden, some of my accounts start going down. So like my Adobe Creative Cloud, I couldn't access it. My account for one of like the main marketing tool, I couldn't access it anymore. And it all happened at the same time. And I was like, they're getting ready to fire me. They're getting ready to fire me. And so I brought it up to my boss and I acted stupid. I was like, why can't I access my accounts? And she's like, I don't know, Carlin. Perhaps you should talk to IT. And so I did. And I think the plan changed. I don't know exactly what happened. Oh, we have an NHPR employee. Hello, NHPR. Hello, hello. Eric, I don't even know you, dude. I don't even know who you are. So I don't know how you could have actually any insight into what happened because I have no idea who you are. And if you had been on this live stream, you would actually know that I already did a preface, man. I have no idea if what went on with me years ago has any relevance to what's going on right now. So since I don't know you, since I have never talked to you, I'm going to call your bluff. I have no idea who you are. So, P.S. Any other NHPR employees want to speak up? You are more than welcome to. All right. So, where was I? Oh, so I think that I don't know exactly what happened. And again, guys, this is just all from my perspective. I'm talking about what I experienced here. Yeah, the fake news is here. Fake news is here. Hey, Eric from NHPR, why aren't you guys reporting that that New Hampshire residents who are Trump supporters have been receiving threatening letters for supporting Donald Trump and are having people threaten to burn their house down? WMUR reported that, dude. Why isn't NHPR reporting that? Because I was just on your website the other day and I actually searched to see if you had done any reports about this, and you haven't done anything. So please, you want to keep this up, darling? Like, you guys have got what, 1,000 subs on your account? I will send all my audience your way. Want to keep up fake news in my account? Jesus Christ. All right. So, where was I? I had no idea this was going to be this fun. So at some point, I think that they were planning on firing me, and then something happened where they made a decision not to, and they extended my stay. I have no idea, but they turned all my accounts back on. And then a couple weeks later, I get this email from HR. We need to have a meeting. And I'm like, okay, here it comes. But the thing is it was during the fund drive. Oh, you know what? I'm also leaving other stuff out. I don't know how much I want to tell. I'm not going to tell that side of the story. It's really not that interesting. It's not that funny. Okay, never mind. There was other stuff going on too, where I wanted to do an initiative that would actually get more people to read the news that NHPR was putting out, and they didn't want to let me. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. So a couple weeks later comes by, and I get this email, and HR wants to have a meeting. And I'm like, okay, it's finally here. I'm finally gonna get fired. Finally gonna get fired. Finally gonna get fired. And so what happened is, and I knew I was gonna get fired because the HR lady didn't want to meet in her office. She wanted to meet in like this other office that was like, it was like neutral third territory. Dude, I have no idea who you are. I don't know. I think that was the same person. I have no idea who you are, dude. So it was me, the HR lady, and my boss at the time. And so they started in, and they were like, my boss was like, Carlin, we can tell that you are angry. And I said, I'm actually not angry. I'm actually kind of frustrated. And my boss and I had actually had, Adam is here. Adam, oh, that's not Adam. Hang on. Adam is giving good advice. Oh, why did it just disappear off my screen? There it is. Adam is here. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, guys. Smash it for Adam. Okay. Pirate actually asked a good question. Is NHPR and NPR different? Yes, because NHPR is New Hampshire Public Radio. They're an NPR affiliate. And again, guys, I'm gonna do this disclaimer. I genuinely hope, I do genuinely hope that the environment at NHPR is significantly better, and that everyone's happy, and that everyone's thriving, and that the leadership is better. And I have reason to hope that, as we're going to see later. But what I'm talking about happened to me several years ago. And so that's my disclaimer. I the people that I'm talking about right now are not even there any longer. So I mean no ill will towards NHPR today. I'm talking about an experience that happened to me. Okay. So we're in the room, and they told me, "Carlin, you're obviously angry." I said, "No, I'm kind of frustrated, but I'm not angry." And my boss and I had that conversation several times before. And she said, "No, you're obviously angry." And then I stopped them. I was like, wait. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you. Am I getting fired? And they looked at each other, and they looked at me, and they said, "Yes, there's going to be a separation." And I was like, "Thank God." Thank God. I was so excited. And then I started laying into my boss, and I was like, "Let me tell you all the things that I want to say. And this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong." Dude, I went scorched earth on these people. I went absolutely scorched earth in this meeting. And don't listen to any spies from NHPR who might be in the chat right now who tell you otherwise, because absolutely not a single one of them was actually in the meeting. I went scorched earth on these people. I told them everything I thought was wrong from them that I could say off the top of my head. But then it gets even better. It gets better. Because at that point, I don't know if, like, I'm sure people in this room have like had the experience of being fired before. Like, this was not my first time being fired. So I had kind of, and obviously like I orchestrated the whole situation myself. So like I had like worked up like I knew it was coming, right? But sometimes like when you're fired, like you get really nervous and all this stuff, like whatever. This was not where I was at. I was so excited about this. And so if any of you in the room have ever been fired, you know that like standard operating procedure is that you like the HR person basically walks you to your desk, and you clean out your desk, and then they walk you out because they want to make sure you're not going to do any crazy stuff, right? Well, guess what? That didn't happen. They did not do that. And so I got to go on a little spree around the office. Hang on. So what happened is P.S. They also tried to, and this is going to become relevant if there are actual people from NHPR in this chat, they tried to get me to sign a severance agreement. Now, here is my best advice. If you can afford it, never, ever, 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 ever sign those severance agreements. Never sign those severance agreements. Because the thing of it is, if you sign those agreements, you're basically signing away your ability to tell the truth about what happened to you in that organization. If I had signed this severance agreement, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, because I wouldn't be able to tell you the truth about what happened. They usually have some clause where you're not allowed to speak like ill will towards people and all this stuff. But I didn't sign the severance agreement. I didn't sign it. I told them to go screw. And I am very, very happy that I did that, because now we get to have this little conversation. So they offered me a severance agreement. I didn't sign it. I left the office, and no one followed me when I left the office. No one followed me. Okay. And so what I did is I walked right past my desk, and I walked over to where the people in my department were, like where they sat, which was a little bit away from my desk. And I said, "Guys, I've just been fired." And immediately, like a whole bunch of like, they get up, and they're like, "What happened?" And people like one of them was like almost crying, and they were like giving me hugs, and I'm like comforting them. I'm like, "It's okay. It's okay. It's okay." I'm seeing questions in the chat. I'm not going to tell you how much they offered me, but it was not enough to get me to sign the severance agreement. So like I was like comforting people over my own firing, right? And then I proceeded to walk around the entire office just looking for the people that I actually liked to tell them like I'm leaving, like toodles. I didn't really find many people, but at some point my boss caught up to me and started walking with me, and I was like, "Nancy, I'm going to tell everyone what's going on. I'm going to tell everyone what's going on. You're going to be all over the internet." I was being a little shit at that point, to be honest. And I didn't really, to be fair, like I actually didn't really tell anyone about like a lot of the grievances I had there. And you'll notice in this live stream, I'm still not giving you guys a lot of information about what happened. And that's kind of purposeful. A lot of this is like, I think this is a funny story, and I like the humor of this story, and I like the irony of this story. But I really don't particularly care to like dredge up a lot of old shit. I really don't. And I don't want to get people in trouble. And like, I'm not naming names, and well, I'm going to name names in a second, but you're going to see there's a purpose to this. So I like this is for humor. This is for everyone's enjoyment. So I like ran around the office looking for people until they cornered me. Right. And then they finally got me back to my desk. And then I just started going scorched earth again. I was like throwing things, and I was like making a fuss, and I was like calling people on speakerphone saying, yeah, I've just been fired. I tried to call Victor on speakerphone, be like, Victor, they fired me. I have some news. He never picked up though, which was kind of a shame, but in retrospect was good. And we'll get to that part of the story in a second. So I'm banging around and throwing things down the hall, and just, I mean, really like scorched earth, guys. Because here's the thing. This bridge was burnt to the ground. Now, I don't always recommend burning bridges to the ground. I really don't. I don't always recommend it, except when that bridge is already burnt. And that bridge was already burnt by this time. I was done. I was absolutely done with this situation. I was like, I'm going to get every last piece of closure that I can get out of this situation. So I made a big fuss. I packed up all my stuff. I was out in the lobby, and this is during a fund drive. So there was actually a fund drive going on while this was happening. And so I'm out in the lobby while the fund drive is going on, and I just yell, free at last, free at last. God almighty, I am free at last. But the story doesn't end there. But we're going to do a quick pause. You know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to drink. We're going to drink. Oh, Elle says, I got fired by a company owned by Disney. Their HR is insane. I was grinning the entire time. Elle, I'm actually not surprised about that at all, because I know people that have worked for Disney or like Disney owned companies, and it's like not good. Not good. Not good. Cheers. All right. So I left the building. I drove home. I played Freebird as I was driving home, as anyone should do when they leave a job that they hate. It is the best in the world. And I walked into the house. And as I walked into the house, Victor is in the kitchen, which is like the first thing you basically see when you walk into my house is the kitchen. And so I said to him, and he had no idea what was going on because he hadn't like gotten my voicemails or anything. And so I said to him, Victor, I have some news. Now, some might think that this news is bad, but I actually think this news is pretty great. And I told him that I had gotten fired, and to Victor's credit, and I have to say this, I know he's in the chat. I know he's downstairs listening for when I might need another beer. Victor was completely supportive from the start. I told him, like, I got fired. I'm not going to get another job. I'm going to do Zen Workplace full time, and I'm going to make it work somehow, and it's going to be fine. And he was completely supportive from the very beginning. It was the best. He is the best husband in the world. I absolutely love him. Cheers to Victor. Everyone do a cheers for Victor, who lets me gallivant around the country and complain on the internet all day and never tells me I shouldn't be telling stories about getting fired. Cheers to Victor. Okay. Now, the next day. You ready for this? Okay. It doesn't stop there. The next day, there's a knock at my door, and there is a registered letter in my name of them basically threatening to sue me for a made-up reason. They threatened to sue me because I didn't sign their dang severance agreement. And so they made up a reason for it that the reason they put is something around like they claimed I had stolen their mailing list or something, which was absolute bunk. I had worked on their mailing list. I had worked on the database at my house at home because that was part of my flipping job. But they made up this reason. They were like, you stole their mailing list, and you're like, and I was like, I didn't steal anything. I have no desire to use your mailing list. Like, it was so stupid. At this point, I actually had already had like a mailing list of my own that I had built up for my business. And so their mailing list was absolutely worthless to me at that point. But basically, I complied with the letter. I said, I've deleted the mailing list. I'll never use it, which is actually the truth. As it turns out, there was no reason for me to have the mailing list. But so that was basically the end of that. That was the end of that. But I thought it was kind of funny that they threatened to sue me. I was like, oh my God. Like, you people, this news organization is so afraid that I'm going to tell the truth about what happened to me there that they threatened to sue me to try to shut me up, please. But that was really the end of that. They threatened to sue me. I called their bluff. That was the end of that. I didn't hear from them for another couple of years. I went and I did Zen Workplace, and it became successful, and I was very happy doing it, and I was doing trainings all around the country, and I was speaking at conferences, and I wrote my book. I wrote my book, which is called Zen Your Work. If you guys are interested in a book about mindfulness at work, I think it's pretty damn good. But the reason I bring that up is there is an epilogue to this story. There is an epilogue that is the thing that makes this entire story so amazing. Okay? Are you guys ready for this epilogue? The thing that happened a couple years after I got fired. Okay, ready? So I was at a conference. It was right after my book came out. I believe it was after it must have been right after my book came out. I believe my book came out in like the middle or end of September in 2018. And so I was at a conference in Boston, which is like not actually far away from my house. I was at a conference for HR leaders, and I was speaking at it. And one of the things at this conference was that attendees got to sign up to go to dinner with a speaker. And so I was in this program where people at the conference got to sign up to go out to dinner with me. And so I was out to dinner with all these people. And while I'm out to dinner, a friend of mine who still worked at NHPR texted me. And remember guys, this is a good 2 to 3 years after I got fired, right? Oh, by the way, I told you about the timeline. This happened in December. So remember I said that if they hadn't fired me by like the end of February, I was going to quit anyway. So they got on the ball and they fired me at like the beginning of December. I believe it was 2015. I'm pretty sure. But this happened in October 2018 when I was out to dinner and I got this text with an article. Let me just share the article that I got texted with because it's still on their website. NHPR is still on your website. Here it is. Gardella's exit from NHPR follows investigation into management issues. And so I got this text with this article when I was out to dinner, right? And so I wasn't going to be rude. I wasn't going to to just stop like the conversation at the dinner to read this article, but I saw the title. I was like, "Holy crap, they fired her." This was the president of NHPR while I was there during my firing. And so I got this article and all I saw was the headline. I was like, "Her exit from NHPR follows investigation into management issues." And this is why I say, and I do genuinely mean this, I really, really do. I really hope that the investigation into the management issues, is he still in there? Is this Eric guy still in here? Is he still talking? I see people. Dude, no, I don't know who you are. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through and look at Eric's probably like blatantly lying chat later. Maybe Victor can just ban him or something. No, Victor, don't ban him. I'm making that up. Okay, someone's gonna have to fill me in on what Eric is saying. But like, I'm serious for a second, guys. I genuinely hope that this investigation into what was going on there, because I was not the only one that was treated badly there. I wasn't. And there were other people that left. There were other people that got fired. And I really do hope that the environment there today is awesome. I hope whoever the new president is awesome. I hope everyone's happy. I hope they're doing great work, whatever. I still know they aren't reporting things that happen to Trump supporters, which I don't think that anyone should be surprised about, but whatevs. We're not talking about that. So, but this isn't even the best part of this article. This isn't even the best part. Guys, should we read this article? We're going to read this article because the best part of this story is yet to come. But before we do that, cheers. Cheers to Eric, the NHPR troll who I don't even know, who's trying to concoct stories in my chat. Let's look him up real quick. Hang on. Staff. Let's see who this person is. If he even works there. Eric. Oh, look at this. There's no Eric that currently works at NHPR. So Eric is fake news. He's fake news one way or the other. Whatevs. It doesn't really matter. More evidence that Eric is a liar. All right, so let's read this article. Let's get to the absolute best part of this entire story. Okay. Betsy Gardella, who has led New Hampshire Public Radio since 2015 as president and CEO, says she will retire from the organization at the end of the year. Now, guys, keep in mind that this was like a week or two after my book came out. Okay, week or two after my book came out. That's going to become relevant in a second. The announcement comes after serious management, human resources, and communication issues were identified by independent investigators brought by the station's board of trustees following complaints from employees. NHPR Board of Trustees Chair Marshall Rowe notified staff of the investigation in an email in late May. Now, I want to put some more context into this because I said I didn't move. I didn't read this article while I was out at dinner. I did read it as soon as I got back to my hotel room about a half hour later. And I nearly fell over on the floor when I read this article. And you guys are going to see why in a second. The investigators found no evidence of illegal activities, financial mismanagement, or sexual harassment by Gardella. Good. That's actually positive. Rowe declined to explain the specific concerns, and the board declined to release a copy of the investigation. Employees arriving to the station on Monday morning found Gardella's office cleaned out and dark. In her own email to NHPR staff on Monday, she addressed the investigation. All organizations face challenges, and we've had ours as well, but I believe great progress has been made over the past several months. Gardella did not respond to an interview request for this story. Remember, this is a story being written by NHPR staff, guys. This is a story by NHPR staff. On behalf of my fellow board members, I'd like to thank Betsy for her years of dedication to NHPR, note that many accomplishments that NHPR has achieved under her leadership, and convey our very best wishes to Betsy and her husband as they embark on the next chapter of their lives, Rose said in an email to station employees. I want to echo that real quick. I genuinely hope that Betsy is in a much better place than she was when she was working for NHPR. I really don't hold ill will towards anyone here. I just think this is a funny story. In an interview, Rowe denied any link between the investigation, subsequent hiring of an outside consulting firm, and the timing of Gardella's announcement. This was completely her decision. She's been thinking about it for a number of months, and she concluded based on her personal situation that this was the right timing. Her departure comes less than two, and I'm reading this whole article for good measure, but you guys are going to understand this in a second, okay? I'm reading it just for due diligence. Her departure comes less than 2 weeks after NHPR celebrated the completion of the $5 million capital campaign, the second large-scale fundraising effort overseen during Gardella's run at the station. Major donors were feted at a September 20th event at the LaBelle Winery, where the station's leaders were praised by the board for having the courage to embark on the effort. 6 days later, the 18-member NHPR Board of Trustees met off-site for a board meeting where they voted unanimously to accept the terms of Gardella's retirement, according to Rowe. Gardella will work off-site through the end of the year, collecting her contracted salary of more than $244,000 until that point. Rowe said that she will assist in the selection of a new CEO, which I do believe they've actually hired a new CEO. And again, I'm going to beat the dead horse. I hope he's awesome and great and is doing great work. I really do. Wait, I just want to make sure it's still in here. Okay, it is still in here. Okay. I was scared for a second that like NHPR knew I was going to do this and they edited the story, but they have not. And if they had, I've archived the story for good measure, so it wouldn't have made a difference. This was completely her decision. Oh, in the interview, Rowe denied any link between the investigation, blah, blah, blah. This was completely her decision. She's been thinking about it for a number of months, and she concluded, based on her personal situation, that this was the right timing. Her departure I already read that. Never mind. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. NHPR employs more than 60 people, including more than 25 staff who produce content for Airways and NHPR.org. The station received national recognition during Gardella's tenure, including the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in 2015, 2017, and 2018. Despite its accolades, some departments within the station have struggled with perceived high rates of turnover, including in leadership positions. There were also allegations, according to interviews with employee, that Gardella failed to take adequate action after receiving a series of complaints aimed at certain high-ranking employees. Huh, huh. I'm sure the board would concur the turnover is higher than we wish it would be because we have a great appreciation for the professionals at NHPR, said Rowe. He added, my understanding is the turnover at NHPR is not unique in the industry. It's not. It's not. What goes on at NHPR, or what went on when I was there, was completely normal in the industry. That is absolutely true, but that doesn't mean it's the way it should be. He declined to discuss Gardella's handling of complaints made against employees, citing confidentiality concerns. After the initial findings by an outside investigator were delivered to the board, in a confidential report this spring, NHPR hired Melinda Garris of Hess Garris Solutions to serve as a consultant. According to the board, her contract is for $40,000. It's getting to the good part, trust me. We made a decision to invest in outside consulting services to provide and enhance communication capabilities within the staff to enhance productivity and improve the work environment. Good. That's good. That's a positive thing. In an email sent to the station in late May, the same day Rowe informed employees of the investigation, Gardella said she was personally committed to making NHPR a better place to work and am confident we will emerge stronger from this process. Since her contract began, Garris has met with a number of NHPR staff members as ways to improve communications within the station, according to employees interviewed for this story. Ready for it, guys? Ready? We're about to get to the good part. Ready? Is Eric still in here mouthing off? Someone Google Eric. Someone Google this and see if he's even using a real name. She provided regular updates to the board, according to Rowe, and Garris attended last Wednesday's board meeting. Okay, guys, here it is. Here's the good part. Okay, wake up. A day before the board meeting, in which they accepted her terms of retirement, a former NHPR employee, Carlin Borisenko, who was hired as a marketing director in 2014, released a scathing portrayal of the station in Zen Your Work, Create Your Ideal Work Experience Through Mindful Self-Mastery. This self-help book refers to an unnamed public radio station as having a toxic work environment, pointing blame at its leadership. And this is the part where, when I was reading this in my hotel room, I fell over on the floor because they didn't reach out to me and talk to me. Like, no one asked for like my and guys, if anyone in here has read my book, I did not even name them. I was so diplomatic in my book. You didn't even say an unnamed public radio station. I didn't name them. I was being diplomatic. It wasn't a scathing portrayal. So what I wrote, apparently that they quoted, I left every day feeling angry, frustrated, and unsupportive because of the narcissism of the person running the organization had trickled down over the course of year into her top staff members. Rowe acknowledged that he and other trustees were aware of the release of this book and are inevitably aware of this live stream, but he hadn't read it. And then it goes on to say some other stuff. People can Google this article on the website if they want. And I also commented on it because I saw this and I was like, my book is not meant to be a scathing portrayal of anything. It's not. They're like, I don't even really talk about NHPR all that much in my book, but I do share like personal stories. And I commented back to them. I said, well, I do hope the folks at NHPR enjoyed my book. I also want to clarify that it was not written to be a scathing portrayal of anything. My book is designed to help people manage stress at work, develop their confidence, and empower their career using mindfulness techniques. It uses a variety of stories from all different points in my career to illustrate concepts, but is not a narrative of my career or any single working environment I experienced. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of how I got fired from a public radio station. And 3 years after they fired me, they quoted me in an article about the CEO retiring due to management issues. That's the story. That's the story. So I love this story. I think that this is a tale of victory. This is a tale of triumph. And it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me, honestly. Listen, and I'm going to beat the dead horse. I'm going to beat the dead horse because apparently I have an audience. I do hope that they took the results of whatever this investigation was and made the work environment there awesome. I'm sure that's exactly what's occurred. I'm sure things are peachy keen there now, whatever. I'm not speaking about it now. I'm speaking about it when I was employed there, and a lot has changed since I was employed there. But for me, like, this is karma in action. I love this story. There are so many good things for me about this story. First off, I take pride that I didn't give in to them, that I stood up for myself, that I didn't let them push me around, and that it all worked out for the best in the end. And I really do hope that all the people that I had issues with, I really do hope it's worked out the best for them too, man. I hope that they're doing something that they love. I hope that they're enjoying life. I hope that they're much happier than when I knew them. Um, and they apparently have done the work to, excuse me, make that possible, because they did this investigation. They invested money in it. So I think that's a good thing. That is my story. So, guys, what did you guys think of my story? Let me know. Chat in. I'm now paying attention to the chat. I'm going to take a drink, and then we're going to do some super chats. And I'll answer whatever questions you have. I also have a live chat going in my locals. So I don't know if people are actually using it, but I just want to pop over there real quick and see what's going on there. Oh, guys, people in my locals have unearthed who Eric actually is. And he does not work for NHPR according to their investigation. Elle, I always notice you. I always notice you, Elle. Okay? I always notice you. So Eric is obviously not who he says he, I really do wonder who he is, man. I wonder who he is. Oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. Whatever. I don't know him. All right. Let me look in the chat in my locals to see if. Oh god, there's a lot going on here. Guys, I know I said I'd take questions from my chat. So guys, if you have questions in the locals, please chat them in now, cuz I can't go back and find everything, but my locals seems to be having a good time. And instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go to super chats. We're going to go to super chats, and I'm going to see what people have to say, and I'm going to go through all the super chats, guys, because it is a celebratory day. Like I said, I am really, really excited to reach 100,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all for supporting this and supporting me and subscribing to the channel. It's really awesome. I never thought, just to be like a sentimental for a second here, guys, like, I never thought I would do YouTube. Like, this was never in my career plan. This was never in my aspiration. And I just kind of, I started my channel like at the beginning of February, before most of you even knew who I was, just to talk about like workplace stuff and workplace issues. I never thought I would be doing this. And so it's just really cool that it's grown so quickly, and I'm really happy that it's working out, and I'm having a really, really great time with all of it. So, okay, I'm going to read the super chats. Brian said, Corinne says, Corinne is one of my knitting friends. She just texted me saying, I told you you would blow up. Thank you, Corinne. I love you. I love you, girl. All right, let's see. Brian says, hello from Ireland. Hello, Brian from Ireland. Pirate Tomsky says, congrats on 100K, long sub, first time watching live. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Naruto says, Fauci just said there is no did Fauci just say there's no reason to wear masks again? Is that new, or is that like an old thing? Or is that like, because he said there was no reason to wear masks, and now he said that there is I don't know. Janice says, well done, Dr. Burisenko. Thank you. Malip says, need to hydrate today after LWC's mega stream debate. Definitely drinking water today. Did you drink whatever? Whatever Joe said, come on, or Trump said China. I actually was not drinking last night during the debate. I may have been relatively stoned during the debate last night, but I wasn't drinking, sadly. Sandykins said, did the green socks fit? Yes, Sandykins, the green socks fit just perfectly, and thank you for those. Will Wonders Never Cease says, congratulations. I look forward to seeing what you do in the future for content and if you run for office. Yeah, guys, a lot of you have been asking me about running for office, and I am thinking about it. I have not made any final decisions, and to be frank, a lot of whether or not I run for office really does depend on what happens in this November election. So we're just gonna have to see. If it's meant to be, it's gonna be. Listen, one of the things that I've really come to on this whole journey is like there I know a lot of you don't believe in fate, and I know a lot of you don't believe that things happen for a reason. Um, L says run locally first. L, I don't do anything half-assed, girl. Come on. You know that's not the plan. Come on. Um, but like I really do believe that everything happens for a reason, and I believe if I'm meant to run for office, that's what it's gonna be. I and again, like running for office is not even something that I ever wanted to do, really, but I just have I have it like I'm instinctually it feels like it's a part of my path, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see if it works out. It does. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I'll keep complaining on the internet. Mm. We shall see. Um, Nancy says, "Thank God this happened because you have been crucial to me at work. P.S. Your eye makeup was on point on Rubin Report. I know my eye makeup looked good on Rubin Report. I was pretty happy with it that day. Thank you, Nancy." Naruto says, "What do you think of Joe saying that we had a good relationship with Hitler and calling Trump Abraham Lincoln in the debate?" Oh, Joe. I mean, I feel so I know that Joe Biden has put himself in this position, but I feel so bad for him. He should not just like Joe just needs to last like 12 more days and then he can go retire. We need a Poor Boys t-shirt. Gavin McGinnis actually posted something on Parlor. Hang on, I'll see if I can put it up because I definitely echoed it on Parlor. I thought it was really funny. Um, let's see. And guys, if you are on Parlor, please follow me at Carlin. I'm just Carlin. I'm Dr. Carlin B on Twitter, but on Parlor, I'm just Carlin. Let me show you guys what Gavin McGinnis posted on Parlor that I thought was really funny. Oh, stop share. I need a new share. There it is. I thought that was hilarious. So apparently they do have a new t-shirt. I thought that was pretty great. Okay, let's see. Congrats on 100K. Hope you get another 100K soon. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are poor boys as bright as white boys? I mean, they're probably as bright as an Afro-Cuban, I suppose. Hank, hi Hank from my locals. Did Vox just step into the room? I don't know. Did they? I don't know. I'm interested in too many things says, what makes workplace and school bullying different? I mean, the primary thing that makes it different, and I haven't studied school bullying as much as workplace bullying, obviously. But the primary thing that makes it different is the age of the people involved. But the thing of it is that bullies are created when they're bullied themselves. Most bullies were bullied themselves. So it wouldn't at all surprise me if there was like a though I haven't looked into this directly, but it would not at all surprise me if there was actually a correlation between people who are bullied in school and then people who actually become workplace bullies later. But it's almost that's going to be a dang near impossible thing to study because it's going to require people to be able to identify workplace bullies in a way that's actually kind of difficult. But I mean, I think it wouldn't surprise me if there's a correlation there. Kaylee Smith says, "Congrats on 100K, Carlin. You rock. Thank you." OG Sin says, "Congrats on the 100K. Thank you." Sam, my little trolley friend Sam, who always trolls my comments for a super chat with $1. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Sam inspired a video that I did the other day where he asked me for 3 GOP policy proposals that I agree with and 3 Democratic ones that I disagree with. And a lot of you said I should actually do the inverse. You said I should do, or excuse me, five of each. You said I should do 5 Democratic proposals I agree with and 5 GOP proposals I disagree with. And we'll see. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to have to do some research on that. But it's certainly something I'm open to doing, actually. Mm. Viking Insane says, "Hi from Canada. You're lucky to have a leader like Donald J. Trump." I 100% agree with that. Shane Bentley says, "Oh, super chat jump, super chat." That's never happened to me before. I thought that was like I never do super chats in the YouTube studios. That's probably why it hasn't happened to me before. Let's see. Hang on. Finding my spot. Shane Bentley says, congrats, Carlin, on your 100K subscriber benchmark. I'm grateful for people like yourself that took the step to have an open mind, praying for another 4 years. I'm praying right there with you, Shane. I appreciate your support. George Andre Veloso Nunez says, NHPR people trying to silence you for telling you for telling how you purposefully got yourself fired instead of simply quitting. If anything, it makes you look bad. I mean, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm the one that got fired. Like, I'm the one that's telling the story about how I got fired. Like, I mean, come on, man. And like, listen, man, if people don't believe me, whatever. But the fact of the matter is that I didn't speak to anyone about at NHPR about my plan to get myself fired. The only person I spoke to in the context of this exchange was the human resources person, was my direct boss, because I was having weekly meetings with her. Those are the only two people. So anyone else that claims to know what exactly happened have no flipping idea. And even the human resources person and my direct boss didn't know what I was doing. So please, you are in no position to say anything about any component of this story, because I knew what I was doing, man. And I even still showed up every single day to do my job, even though I was miserable in that environment. And I really hope y'all are much better off now. I really hope you're much happier. I hope the environment's changed. That's a genuine sentiment. Return to Reason says, wife is typing as I'm driving across Nebraska. NPR is partisan garbage. I've been seeing evidence of their hackery for years now. See you on Sunday. Yes, guys. Truman, who's Return to Reason on YouTube, is coming to the Walkaway rally in Omaha, Nebraska on Saturday. Now, I'm drinking early because I'm probably going to go to bed early. You know why? Because I have to get up at the F crack of dawn to get on an airplane to go to Omaha. My flight boards at 5:30. My flight boards in 12 hours. 12 hours from now, I will be boarding a flight. So I have to get up early, which is one of the reasons I'm drinking now. And spending some time with you guys. Engineering Politics says you got 100K by the last debate. Does that mean you're going for 200K by the election? No, Kevin. No. There's no way in hell YouTube is letting me get 200K by the election. No, that's not going to happen. But thank you for your positivity. Guys, please make sure you follow Return to Reason and Engineering Politics, because they're two really smart dudes. They're both in my locals. If you aren't in my locals, definitely consider joining it. It's kb.locals.com. The description is in, or the link is in the description below. And we have such a good time in my locals. I see the chat going on there right now. I'm really enjoying it. I also recently I was on Dave Rubin's show for Locals Week. So if you watch Dave Rubin, you'll find a little 15-minute interview with him and me where we talk about what I'm doing in my locals, and it's really exciting. It's like it's social media for adults. Anna's Thoughts and Musical Parodies says, I'm glad you started doing YouTube. Also kind of jealous of your quick success. Haha, I have a video of you at the Philly Walkaway rally in my channel. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make a confession, guys. Like, I oftentimes feel really guilty about how quickly my channel's grown and how I have, friends who I think are just much smarter than me and much better at this than I am, that they haven't grown as quickly. But I am really, really grateful for all of you, and I'm really grateful for the success that I've had. Oh, shoot. Super chat jump again. Super chat jump again. Hang on. Oh, my God. Let's see. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Okay. Silver Bullet 1620 says, Dr. Burisenko, did you receive my email about history from Paul Garrison and Paula Rayner, Yahoo? I was hoping to receive feedback on what you thought. Guys, I'm going to be really honest. If you have emailed me lately through my website, I really just haven't gotten to it because it's just like things are just crazy. I'm going to try to get through some of them in Omaha when I'm there, but if I haven't responded, it's honestly just that I haven't gotten to it yet, and I do apologize. It's just I get a lot of emails. Okay, I get a lot of emails. I got a lot of stuff going on leading up to the election, but I'm doing the best I can. Trolley Sam Walsh says, will you debate me on camera before the election? No, Sam. No, probably not. No, because you know why? Because then I would be rewarding people who are literally trolling my comments, and I would be incentivizing people trolling my comments. And though I actually do appreciate that you're super chatting in, I really do. I don't want to reward that type of behavior. So if people want to debate me, What they can do is they can send me an email and ask me nicely. Trolling my comments is not going to get you the result you're looking for, man. I am actually going to behave like an adult in this particular circumstance. Also, I don't do debates, man. I will do a discussion with I am open to doing discussions with people that I disagree with. I am not open to doing debates. I'm not. I'm not. I just don't think there's any point. There's no point. No minds are ever changed. It's just about owning people. It's just about scoring points. Like, why? Ken says, so thrilled for your amazing success. I'm so glad to know you and watch you get your wings and fly. Hope we can celebrate 1 million subs someday soon. I hope you'll come back to Southern California soon. I was actually thinking about, hang on. Sorry. I'm still getting over like a freaking head cold, so I cough randomly. I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID. I promise I don't have COVID. I just have a freaking cold. So I'm sorry I coughed into the mic just then. I'm actually thinking about maybe coming out to LA after the election, just to like veg for a minute because I know a bunch of people out there and so maybe I'll be in LA soon. I don't know. I haven't made any plans yet. Fixie the Fox Turnbull says, Laura here. Fixie is my grand cub. I love you taking over your grandkids' account. I'm grateful you're on YouTube. You have often helped me escape the insanity that is 2020. Congratulations on 100K. Thank you. And the historian says, hey there, what's your thoughts on the Second Amendment? Do you own any firearms? Do you have any favorites? I do not have favorites, but yes, we do own firearms because one of the perks of doing YouTube is you get death threats on occasion. And so, yeah, we bought a gun, but this was my husband's job. My husband's job was to pick out the gun and to buy the gun. And my husband goes shooting with the gun. I have yet to go. I know I need to. I know I want to, and I do want to learn. It's just I've been so busy that I haven't had time to go to the shooting range. But I do plan to go after the election. But yeah, I think the Second Amendment is pretty good right now, so far as I'm concerned. Really, I mean, when the left started to support rioting all the time, like they lost the Second Amendment argument. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see, guys. I just want to make sure that I got all the super chats. I think I did. That was the last one, I think. I think I got everyone. All right, guys. If I didn't get a super chat and you sent it in, please chat in right now and let me know and I will read it. I think I got everyone, though. I apologize if I missed everyone. Casper says, Victor the Protector, right on. Exactly. Exactly. It's man's work. Man's work. All right. Let me pull up my locals. Oh. Fixie the Foxtail Turnbull. Grand Cub took over my YouTube. I monitor. She just passed 100 subs. Check out her video. 545. She's 13. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm looking at my locals chat right now for anyone that might be in there. I don't know if you guys have anything you want me to talk about. I like to have my locals not super chatting, guys. So one of the benefits to being part of my locals is that if I do a live stream or something, I do post in my locals and I take questions from there first. So you guys don't have to super chat in, but it looks like they're just kind of chatting away and hanging out, which I think is awesome. We actually have a live chat going right now in the community and they're kind of watching the live stream and chatting at the same time, which is really cool. Actually, this is really cool. We've never done live chats in the community before. Oh, Kevin, Engineering Politics, says, what are my opinions of the debate last night, dude? So I posted a video about this earlier. If you guys haven't seen my video on the debate, I'll summarize it really quick. Trump kicked Biden's ass. Like, Trump was so good. I was like almost in tears. I was so happy that Trump did so good. Trump dominated. I think that Trump won re-election last night. I really do. I feel completely comfortable that Trump is going to win now, which I think is really great. So yeah, Trump victory. Oh. Drink. Hang on, guys. Okay, I'm going to take myself off screen for a second because I need to blow my nose, and you guys don't need to see that. Hang on. I'll be right back. I promise. All right, I'm back like a ninja. Okay. Sorry, it was just getting to the point where my congestion was so bad that like I was starting to have a hard time talking. But I'm back. I'm back. Crisis averted. Okay, I can talk again. Sharon from my local says, please come to San Diego, Carlin. I mean, maybe I'll do a twofer. Maybe I'll go from LA to San Diego. San Diego, actually, there's a restaurant in San Diego that has my favorite burger ever in the history of burgers. It's called the Kraken. Guys, check out this burger. I'm gonna pull this up because we're just hanging out. We're having a good time. I want to show you guys this burger. Happy Place says, thanks so much for sharing your journey and your thoughts. Thank you, Happy Place. I appreciate that. So, okay, guys, check out check out this burger. This burger is called, for those of you in the greater San Diego area, this burger is a place called the High Dive. It's like a little like local bar and it's called the Kraken. Now what this burger is two peanut butter and sriracha jelly sandwiches and a big old slab of burger and then a mountain of gorgonzola cheese, and I think it has bacon and I think it has like onion, like grilled onions on it or something. It is the best thing I've ever had in my life. It sounds gross. There's also a mini version where it's not encased in two sandwiches. That's actually the one that I had, that just has peanut butter and sriracha jelly on it instead of like in two sandwiches. But it's freaking delicious. So maybe I'll go to San Diego as well and get myself a Kraken at the High Dive because it was the best thing that I've ever eaten in my life. It was awesome. Naruto says, I wish I could afford a ticket to the Omaha event. I mean, I'm sorry, man. Like the rallies are free to go to, but obviously, like you have to get yourself there. Listen, guys, we might be doing, I don't know where everyone is located at, but we are gonna be doing, to the best of my knowledge, there's gonna be a walkaway rally in Atlanta on Halloween. I think it's that weekend. But if you can afford to donate to Walkaway right now to help us fund these rallies, because guys, each of these rallies, according to Brandon, costs about like, excuse me, at least $12,000 to do, because they have to pay for things like they have to fly us all in and they have to pay for security and they have to pay for like other things. What they're trying to do is raise $100,000 by Sunday. And I think they're actually a good portion of the way there at this point. And if they raise $100,000 by Sunday, they will actually add another rally in Pennsylvania next week. So please, if you can donate to Walkaway to support this effort, because guys, we need things like security when we do these rallies. You guys saw me get chased down the street. Like, we need security. We've had a lot more security lately. So please consider making a donation to Walkaway. I think you can go to walkawaycampaign.org and we'll add another rally in Pennsylvania if they can meet that goal, and we all really appreciate it. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm just looking at my locals again, guys. Oh, Return to Reason. I'm trying to do double duty. I'm trying to get the super chats as they come in. And I'm trying to look at locals too. Return to Reason says, you earned it, the 100K dude. You were around 60K when I came on your show. Talk about exponential growth. Beers in Omaha tomorrow. Yeah, man. I get into Omaha, I think, around 1 tomorrow. So I'm probably going to want to take a nap. I'm probably going to want to grab a shower. But I definitely don't have any plans for tomorrow night, Truman. So we can definitely hang out. Cheers. Cheers, cheers. All right. Let's see. I'm scrolling back up. Hang on, hang on. Someone in my locals asked, when will Walkaway pick back up? I really don't know what the plans are for after the election. I know that they're going to be doing, they're thinking about other events, but I don't know what I think pretty much everyone is just like, Brandon is so like exhausted. He works so hard, guys. I wish you guys could see how hard Brandon and all of the Walkaway team work, because it's like they're just straight out. So I'm pretty sure that at least I haven't heard any plans for after the election. I don't know. I think we're just solely focused on that for right now. Um, let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ, guys. Okay. Someone in the locals chat just posted this picture of a Bloody Mary that I just feel the need to share with all of you. Look at that Bloody Mary. Now, this is in Wisconsin, and as we all know, I've pretty much been banished from the state of Wisconsin. So I'm probably not going to be getting this particular Bloody Mary anytime soon. But I did have some tacos the other day with bacon wrapped scallops in them, and they were delicious. And that made me think of that. So cheers on that Bloody Mary. That looks fabulous. Someone in local says, haven't seen a walkaway for Seattle. Did it already pass you? We aren't going to Seattle. We aren't nuts. There was actually conversations at one point about us going to Portland, but I think all of us kind of boycotted that idea. Dude, we're going to Atlanta in a couple weeks, okay? We're going to Atlanta. Like, please donate for extra security for me specifically. Please. I'm going to be wearing my boots, guys. I can't run that fast in my boots. Come on. I don't want to get beat up. All right, guys. All right. Well, I don't really see any other questions coming in, and God knows I'm kind of losing my voice. Melissa says, does Brandon ever sleep? I really don't know that Brandon actually sleeps. I don't know. But again, I want to thank you for joining this live stream. I hope everyone had fun. I hope you all enjoyed my little story. If you haven't already, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, or if you think you're subscribed, there's a little red subscribe button. God damn it. Sorry about that. There's a subscribe button below. I promise I don't cough in the camera most of the time. And again, I mean, I know I've beaten this dead horse, but I really do want to say, as much as I do enjoy my story about how I got fired from NHPR and the ultimate epilogue, I do really hope that the organization is in a much better place than they were when I worked there, because everyone should be happy in their job. I firmly believe that even people that I dislike should be happy in their job, and they should have a fulfilling place to work that treats them as though they're the most valuable employee in the world. And I do genuinely hope that that is the environment that NHPR has now. And I have no commentary on what's going on today. I don't know. All I know is my experience. So I'm going to call it a day, guys, because I got some laundry to do. And I'm actually going to see my husband for once, because I never really, like, even though Victor is literally downstairs, he's literally directly below me. He's in the chat right now. Like, I don't actually really see him that much right now. So we're going to go hang out. I'm going to make him watch a horror movie or something. And I don't know. I'm drinking, so I'm sure he's hoping he's going to get lucky or something. We'll see. I haven't even showered today, Victor, so I don't know how much you want that. But I'm going to go hang out. I hope you guys have a great Friday. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for helping me get to 100K. And yeah, let's keep going. Bye.